Well, we're home. We made it back in one piece, and I figure I should just let you guys know how No Name Nationals was, what happened, and where we go from here. So, things did not go as planned. And a lot of you are kind of sitting here thinking, well, what are we even looking at this car for? What even is this car? A lot of you don't know it. I thought you were bringing the Coronet. We'll get to that in a later video. But I'll briefly go over this. This is our 69 Super B. We've had this car for years, and I put this thing together in 30 days before No Name Nationals. This was a rolling shell. Nothing was really bolted to it hardly, and it had an engine and transmission that I put in it, that I dyno tested, that I just set in there. It wasn't even held in with any motor mount bolts hardly. So I put this thing together from a rolling body to a running driving car in 30 days. And with that comes challenges. So the thing runs great. It runs absolutely fantastic. I didn't have any issues before we went to the event, but it was still completely untested. It only had a few miles on it, like 2 or 3 miles on it total. So it was completely untested, and we had no idea what it was going to do. So we get there, get the car unloaded, drive it around the pits a little bit. It's running okay. You know, it's got a little bit of a miss, and we're not really sure why. So I ended up pulling the spark plugs out of it. And they were very dark from all the times during this process that I started it with, you know, a squirt bottle of gas and putting too much in it. The plugs were basically fouled. So they were very dark. And thanks to Jed from Scott's Speed Shop, he had some extra plugs that I got from him, so I replaced all new plugs. And the thing was running better than ever. It was running really good. It wasn't really missing or backfiring, but I was just kind of idling it around the pits. I wasn't really getting on it. I wasn't really doing much with it. So eventually we get out to do the picture for the banner and all that stuff, the picture where the drone flies over, and I start getting a leak on the track, which is the worst case scenario here. Like, you don't want to leak anything on the track. Thankfully it was just gas, but I was leaking a little bit of gas from the gas tank, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? It's got a new tank, new line, new everything. Well, my hose clamps weren't 100% tight on the lines, the line from the sending unit to the hard line. So I tightened those up. I thought I got it. Okay, we're good to go. Get it back, put a little more gas in it, and an even bigger leak happens back at the tank. I was like, what in the world is going on? I just tightened up those clamps. It should be fine. Well, the sending unit was actually a little bit loose. So got a hammer and a screwdriver, tap that tight, and we're good to go. We get out on the track, and I get lined up to a very small burnout, and this is my first time down a track, so I wasn't expecting anything big, and this would end up being the only run I ever made. It hooked up perfectly. It launched very hard. It felt great. But once I got higher RPM, tried to get between first and second on, you know, about 3 grand, I was just kind of making a quick little pass is all I wanted to do to test the car. It started breaking up and popping really bad. So I was figuring, well, what the heck is going on? So I get back and I pull up a spark plug, and it is dangerously lean. The plugs look basically like new still. They have no color on them, and they look very, very lean. So that's no good. I thought, okay, well, carburetor's no good. So I took my other carburetor, which I have here. It has an 800 Edelbrock AVS2 on it currently. But I have this 830 Holly that I brought with that the linkage was all wrong, so I tried to put that on, and the linkage is wrong, and I couldn't get it to work. And when I set it on the intake, and obviously this isn't a flat surface, but it would rock back and forth. So this base plate's warped. So things just kept getting from bad to worse. And it was just one thing after another. So I put the Edelbrock back on it and got it running at least enough where I could just drive it around the pits at idle, and you know, I was kind of done. You know, I can't just, you know, get it to run a whole lot better without changing the carburetor, was my thought. And then I had Jeff from Two Hacks Garage come over, help me out a little bit, and we found out that the carburetor may not have been the problem. The fuel pump is extremely weak. So, long story short, the car couldn't make a clean pass because it wasn't getting enough fuel, and it wasn't getting enough fuel because the fuel pump decided that it was going to start to fail. So I've had issues with fuel pumps in the past. You know, it's just a stock mechanical fuel pump, you know, that would happen on a 440 all the time. I've had them go bad in the past. I've had them the week new out of the box, so it's a problem. I'm probably going to try another one, but if I don't have any luck with another one, I'm going to go with the Carter style one that they used like on the Hemi cars and stuff like that. That should be a lot better. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to, in the next video, give a whole rundown of everything that we did to this car to get it ready and what's next for this car, and an overview of everything that we have going on with it, because there have been so much time and so much money and so much effort put into this car. And like I said, we built this in 30 days. So there's a lot to go over. So I will kind of just leave it there. I do apologize for not really getting any footage at No Name, but once I figured the car is kind of not going to do what I wanted it to do, there wasn't a whole lot of point in filming much there. I mean, I could have filmed other people's stuff, but there's going to be 100 videos of other people's stuff, and I already know that I've seen people walking around this car at the show, or at the event, taking videos and pictures of it. So I thought that was really cool. So definitely looking forward to next year. Definitely was a great year this year to have a car, even though things didn't go my way. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of cut it and leave it there, and you'll be seeing a lot more of this very soon. But definitely consider like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.